Okay, here we go. We're live. Quick audio and video check before I continue. Can you hear me fine? Can you see everything okay? I'm moving around the chart a little bit. Just want to make sure that that we're all ready to go. I'm sorry for the slightly delayed start to this stream. There is a lot to talk about in today's live stream. My God, I haven't done a live stream for a while, and that's partly down to bad Wi-Fi and wired internet connections. But hopefully, we're going to be good today. There it is. It's working. Good. Great. Okay, awesome. So, where do I even start? My God. It's first of all, it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to read comments today, but that's fine because there's a lot to talk about just for the beginning. But as we go along, as usual, please continue to drop your comments and tag me. Tag me with an @FORFLIES. So that your message is highlighted to me and I know that it's a question. The first thing that we need to talk about really is the what used to be the elephant in the room was the rising wedge on Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and take a clean chart so I can show you how this looked. Just look at this, by the way. Perfect breakouts of these descending triangles. We had this on point inside VIP with our analysis as well. This was amazing. But the big wedge that everyone was looking at really was, I don't even know how to draw it. It was something a bit like this. Let's make sure I've done this correctly for you. It looks something a little bit like this, where Bitcoin essentially was just narrowing and narrowing with its price action for quite a while, just basically forming a rising wedge, which would inevitably break out, as is quite typical for Bitcoin. So it's great to see that Bitcoin is continuing to do what's typical of its characteristics. I think what's even better is Bitcoin ended up breaking out above $33,000, and we've now, just as I'm recording the video, basically, we've now come down to $30,000 pretty much on the dot. No, exactly on the dot. Look at this. On the OHLC, the L up here represents the low. And I mean, down to the cent, we landed at $30,000 and bounced off. So that's a really nice sign of buyer support being quite big here. We are now, for all intents and purposes, in a real parabola. In a very real parabola. In fact, if I show this to you on the 4-hour time frame, it would make a bit more sense. Minus this candle, which kind of messes things up a little bit. Let's actually just replay the chart and imagine that we're 4 hours in the past or so. And this is super real. You know, I mean, this is just a huge lift off. We actually, the only time we had something similar was right here when we broke above $20,000. So we've had an equally strong breakout this time, although with dollars, I think this was actually bigger from low to high. This was 21% and this was, oh, I'm sorry, this was 11%, but a similar price move. Yeah, that's what I meant to measure. Okay, no, this price move was also bigger, but we are in a very real parabola now. And the thing to keep in mind here is just especially looking at this continuation pattern right here. This one lasted about 30 days. This one lasted about 8 days. This one lasted what from, I mean, let's just calculate. This was like 3 days. So what we're seeing here is like from 30 days down to 8 days, down to 3 days, down to, I mean, this didn't even consolidate. This just traded higher slowly. We're definitely moving faster and faster with this trend. It's getting crazier and crazier with each day that passes, and this is the thing that makes this a little bit unpredictable at this point now, because we do have a situation where it's actually, you know, like it reasonably and logically it shouldn't keep on rising, but because everyone is so bullish on Bitcoin for now, and I specifically have to stress that this is for now, it's obviously not going to stay like this forever. Right now, it just looks really sexy, but that does not mean that it deserves to be this high, this quick at all, and this is where we need to kind of ground ourselves. But for now, it looks really good, and that means two things, guys. It's very obvious when I say it out loud. You obviously you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Number one, no one wants to sell Bitcoin. And number two, if no one wants to sell Bitcoin, but there are still buyers, the price is just going to absolutely shoot up. And because we've entered another parabola now, and our consolidation periods are getting shorter and shorter, really, I mean, it can fly up to 50k tomorrow, effectively. I don't think it will, obviously, but it can, and it would still be quite reasonable for this trend. But what we need to keep in mind is that with this kind of price action does come immense drops. And so the next thing to consider is who on earth is buying right now, because this is stupid. This is really, really crazy to be buying at these kind of levels. And again, just to visualize this, to ground ourselves, because I know we're all making a shitload of money. We're all very, very happy. We need to be realistic, all right? I mean, I'm a trader, so I need to be realistic about this. And I just want to look at where the potential support areas are on, first of all, on the long-term time frames. And you know what? Like, there's basically nothing. There's a little bit around this area stretching from 22,000 to 24,000, but we only consolidated here for, like I said, 8 days. There's practically nothing around here. There's definitely nothing around here, and obviously there's only psychological support at the $30,000 which we made $30,000 level, which we made use of today. But over here, I mean, this is the only kind of relevant support area I'm seeing, which is between $18,000 and $20,000. And again, just as a thought experiment, I want to look at what the drawdown would look like if Bitcoin falls here. And I'm not saying it will, but if it does, we are looking at a 40% drop from where we're trading at right now, which, by the way, I don't think anyone would panic if Bitcoin, I mean, like any of you guys, I don't think any of you guys would panic if Bitcoin came down, or obviously the idiots would, but broadly speaking, coming down to this level would be absolutely amazing. Again, not saying it would happen, but if it does, it's going to fall right in line with that classic Bitcoin dropping by 40% measurement, you know, like, and actually I should demonstrate this to you, because I know there's a lot of new viewers on this channel right now. Shout out to you guys who are new. By the way, we're really, really close to 60,000 subscribers today, only about 150 away. So if we can shoot up the subscribe button and encourage everyone to subscribe, that would be amazing. That would be really, really cool to start off the new year with a big bang. But really what I want to outline to you is how deep the maximum corrections go for Bitcoin in a bull run. You know, over here we're down by 40%, just measured in front of you live. Take a look at this, from $3,000 to $1,800 roughly. Funnily enough, those of you who've been around for a while, you will remember that this is the first and only time in my life that I've ever panic sold Bitcoin, and I've never done it since then as well. I thought because I entered the market around like April of 2017. This is where I started. I thought Bitcoin was just dead at this point. But anyway, we dropped by 40%, and the reason this rocks the market is because it's a really big drop. I mean, its value is nearly cut in half, and so you imagine you've got 20k in the bank, and that's your entire life savings. That just drops down to 12k overnight. That's going to make you shit yourself, and so it's very, very scary. And that's usually why it's the maximum correction that Bitcoin endures. Right here, this one was nearly 40% as well, 39%. Not happening by coincidence, my friends. Let's take a look at this one. Let's measure this one. This was a 33% drop. This one was a 33% drop as well, and so we're seeing it across the board that it's hovering between 30% and 40%. This one's minus 40%, and this is a crucial thing I need you guys to keep in mind. That this isn't like me, this isn't FORFLIES being bearish right now. This is all happening within very healthy uptrends, and crucially it happens at peaks. I mean, the market peaks and euphoria is at its absolutely highest, and the RSI peaks as well, like super, super high, which I know isn't really a metric to measure market tops, because the RSI peaks all the bloody time and the market keeps rising. In fact, let's just look at this right now just to prove this point. The RSI has been oversold nearly every single day for the past like 3 months, and we've just kept trading higher. So the RSI is not a metric for when the market is going to top out, but it's just one of those signs that's already there. And it's, you know, so going back to this, we will see classic situations where just to make a point, basically, euphoria will be quite high over here. The relative strength of the market will feel quite strong, and that's exactly where it peaks and then endures really, really big drops quite typically, quite often within these markets. But it happens within bull runs, and so you know, one of the key things I want to see is if we do get a big drop like this, are we going to drop to any levels of significance, any levels that have previously been quite important in the market? And this level, for example, with this minus 40% drop, was quite important. Look at this. We dropped down minus 40% down to where? Well, exactly where we consolidated when we reached this all-time high, exactly where we already tested a few days later, I don't know, like a week or two later as well. We fell down to the very same level. And so this was a level that you could have expected some support at, which is great, because we know as a rule that minus 40% on Bitcoin is really consistent. It works really well within uptrends. And if we look at where minus 40% falls right now, it does fall at $20,000 bang on, which is absolutely perfect. It sounds like, by the way, I've just noticed now, it sounds like I have more of a British accent since I've come to Dubai, which is super weird. But right here, minus 40% leads us right to the $20,000 level. So again, not saying it's going to happen, but my God, if it does, this would completely cleanse the market. This would bring new blood. This would expel new blood from the market. It would terrify a lot of people. It would mean a lot of people will lose money very, very quickly. It will also mean that the altcoin market would probably tank a lot as well. So this is something I'm going to talk about in just a minute as well. But for now, definitely some very, very big points that I don't want to ignore. Just kind of minus 40% would look absolutely great right now. But look, I can't ignore these shorter term signs because we do still have a lot of signs of strength. And this is what makes analysis difficult at the moment. Because look, we've just retraced while I was making this video down to 30K. I'm sorry, it wasn't now. My bad. I made a big mistake there. No, it was hours ago we retraced down to 30K. What was I looking at? I was looking at something, or maybe it was just on Coinbase. It's just on Coinbase? Yeah, it was on Coinbase. Yeah, so I didn't make a mistake. Okay. Yeah, right there. This happened while I was recording. So apparently it only hit some exchanges. But what we do have at the moment on these very short time frames, obviously because the trend is so nice, is we are, we're coming down to test support levels and we're showing all of the right signs on the shorter time frames. But again, so look, just to kind of hit this point home, I was in a very nice profitable long position that I entered right upon this breakout. So I was quite prepared for this move. I knew that this move was going to happen and I closed it all around this area. So it's exactly the same thing that I did when I entered a long position at $12,000 really. I traded a nice big gap. I was really, really happy with the profit. The profit was, I don't know, like 190% at its peak, and I closed the rest at 170%. So it was fucking amazing. It was nearly a 3 times gain. I was super, super happy with that. And the reason I closed it is because even though I knew that Bitcoin would probably continue to rise up, I also knew that the risk would become astronomical. This is really, really important. Just because you're going to make a lot of money, it doesn't mean that the market is good to be trading in at the moment. And so yes, these moves are really, really good, but we know what's probably going to come next, and it's a lot of panic. And that's because the people who are buying, this is the next point, the people who are buying this market right now are not smart traders. There's something really important to clear up in this market right now, which is who is buying. Because once we establish who's buying, we can establish if the market is going to keep trading higher or if it's going to crash. And here's what I do know. I work closely with people who trade quite large volumes, and I know a lot of people who trade quite large volumes, and I know from my connections that the big, rich, wealthy, smart people were buying down here. This is it. I know it. I've spoken to many people. I've confirmed it. This is where people were buying. And I can't stress this enough because, the people with a lot of money, the institutional players, the people who you're seeing in the headlines now that are saying Bitcoin's going to go to $100,000, this is where they were buying. This is so, so important to get across because no one who is smart and no one with a lot of money right now and is buying this rally because this screams massive unsustainable trend. I mean, there hasn't been a single time in history, try and find me an exception, there hasn't been a single time in history where something like this has ended well. And so it's not going to end well this time as well. It's super, super clear. And that begs the question, who's buying? And, at first I was thinking, well, it can't be retail that's buying because retail doesn't have a lot of money. Retail means people like you and I, just regular idiots sitting in our basements or whatever, just normal people. It can't be retail because this market, it needs a lot of volume to keep rising up. But the truth is, at a time like this where everyone's really hopeful for Bitcoin, everyone's really, really excited, nobody wants to sell Bitcoin. And if nobody wants to sell Bitcoin, that means there is a complete supply drought, and that means the price has to keep trading higher. This is a really important concept to understand in trading. If nobody wants to if nobody wants to sell Bitcoin, then the only way you can buy it is by pushing the price up. Equally, at a time like this, nobody wants to buy Bitcoin, so the only thing that can happen is selling. And because nobody is buying, if you have a lot of Bitcoin to sell, it's just going to tank the market. And so when there is a wide consensus, this is what happens. It doesn't necessarily mean that a lot of volume is driving the rally. There is a decent amount of volume driving the rally, but it's nothing, astronomical. It's still, and I've proven this point already, it's still not even as high as what we saw in 2017. So we're not seeing something that's as concerning as that at the moment. I just saw a question about stimulus checks. One quick note I want to make on that, which hopefully I will talk about in this live stream, is about the dollar index. I actually have to credit Tone Vase for this. He's done some analysis on the dollar index, which I found to be extremely useful, where the dollar is just crashing through the floor, which is a bit of analysis that you guys will remember I had since way back in September 2020. We actually have an interesting testimonial from someone who joined at that time, which I want to show you today. But right here, September 2020, this the dollar index just kind of peaked at the 382 fib level, something I was talking to you guys about. And the fact that this is dropping, I think, is contributing massively to Bitcoin's gains. Is gold moving up? Gold's doing nothing. That's surprising. But I think it is contributing to Bitcoin's gains. And crucially, something that's really, really important in my opinion is with these stimulus checks that are being given out and money being printed like crazy, we are in a situation where world reserve, well, this is the only world reserve currency, where big currencies in the world are going to continue to get weaker. And that will mean that they get weaker against assets like gold, assets like Bitcoin. And I think this is a big part of why Bitcoin is rising right now. And the good news is that according to Tone's analysis, I'm not a macro analyst for the economy and global currencies, but according to his analysis, the dollar is going to keep on dropping. And I confirmed it with my own analysis. But again, I'll talk about that later. But I think that's a big reason for why Bitcoin's dropping right now, which actually means that Bitcoin isn't actually gaining much value. It's not gaining as much as we see. It's just that the dollar is getting weaker. And I think that's that's one of the other things we need to keep in mind, where it's good, don't get me wrong, like Bitcoin is still gaining a lot of value, but just not as much as we think. It might be like Bitcoin's up by, just to prove a point, Bitcoin's up by 7.6% today. The real gain, if the dollar wasn't falling, for example, might just be 6%, which is still huge. But just to kind of put this into perspective a little bit, because I think that's really important right now, because I want to stay grounded with this analysis. Like I said, I left my long position. I'm still holding Bitcoin, I'm still holding Ethereum, so it's not like I'm not making money on this, but I'm not actively in a long position kind of betting that the market's going to go up or anything like that, because I don't think that it's worth the risk just at this moment. So once again, as we continue to go on with this live stream, shout out to Dean with that amazing message. As we continue with this live stream, continue to tag me at FORFLIES in the comment section and drop your questions here. We're at 1,200 viewers, so I think that's an all-time high. Once again, if we can shoot up the subscriptions on this channel, that would be amazing. Like I said, trying to hit 60,000 subscribers today. Maybe that's too ambitious, but we're only 150 away, so could happen. It has happened before where we've gained much more than that in a single day. Let's just take it back to some important notes here before I talk about the more kind of interesting things like who's buying and stuff like that, the topics that require a live stream, because there's a lot to talk about. I just want to talk about potential areas that Bitcoin could bounce from. Obviously, in a parabola like this, it should continue to rise higher and higher and higher, and when we have this situation of zero supply being in the market, it will just keep on being driven higher. But this is all until it culminates in some sort of panic, and it will happen when most people are making most money. So again, this is something that was really important that I wanted to get across in this video, which is that it will look very misleading what I'm telling you, where I think Bitcoin's going to drop down massively, because right now everyone's making money really, really easily. But that's exactly where the red flags are. This is a situation where a lot of people are standing to lose a lot of money right now, and that's why I just didn't want any additional risk by keeping my long position open. I nearly 3 times my money just by trading like a $5,000 gap, so that was enough for me. Like I did that already when I opened my long position from $12,000 as well, way down, my god, way down from over here. I did the same thing already, and I just I decided I didn't want more risk. Obviously I could have kept my 12k position open until now and it would be at something stupid like 3,000% profit, but I didn't need that additional risk because I'm really happy to lock in those gains. And this is really important, where people are not going to be thinking like that right now, and that kind of greed will result in extreme reactions if things start to go south. Because Ripple's a beautiful example of this right now. This is the best way I can prove this point to you, because it's already happened in front of our eyes very, very recently, where people were only buying Ripple because they wanted, my god, what is it at? Okay, yeah, it's at 689 Satoshis. My God. People were buying Ripple on this rally just because they thought that they could sell it for a profit. There was no reason other than profit for people to buy Ripple. That's just pure speculation on a future price being higher than today's price. And that's great, and it works only until it doesn't. And when it stops working, people dump it really, really quickly because they have no reason to hold it other than making money. And if that reason is gone, they have zero interest in it anymore. Once again, this is like flirting at a bar, and then you realize that the woman's just not interested, and then the dude just leaves because he has zero interest anymore. It's just an example. Whether it's appropriate or not doesn't matter, but at least you understand the point. And this is what we had with Ripple. And you know, like, Ripple is not unique compared to, well, it is. It's extremely shit compared to Bitcoin, but it in terms of psychology, it's nearly the same. You know, like, obviously Bitcoin isn't going to drop this hard, but because this is just measure this. I'm sorry, just for fun, because I have to. You know, I can't resist. I just can't. Yeah, minus 83, minus 84%. Yeah, just down the bloody shitter. Have fun, Ripple holders. But you know, it's a situation where, I mean, it's obviously going to happen on Bitcoin as well, because you know, the only reason, come on, don't bullshit me. The only reason people are buying above this 20k level right now is because of excitement, because of fear of missing out, and that's just not sustainable. All it's going to take is one big player to hit the sell button and trigger some panic. Right now, I will say this is a really, really good sign that we did bounce off the 30.1 level on this exchange. Maybe I did my calculation wrong. No, I didn't. No. But we did bounce off a big support level at the $30,000 level. So obviously that's a green flag, you know, where in the short term we are still carrying that strength. But you know, where it goes, it's impossible to say because there's no price history right now. We've broken the psychological level of $30,000, but you know, I mean, I would just expect resistance at every $1,000 level. Look, 33,000 has been a bit of a problem. 35 probably be a bit of a problem just because it's a round number. Same for 40. Obviously, you know, 45 and so on could be just, you know, kind of big round numbers would usually be where we encounter problems. We can throw fib extensions on the chart, but they're actually not very reliable in my experience. So I'm not going to do that. I want to look at where support might be on this trend. It's almost useless to look at this right now, but you know, another just kind of quick sign to show us that we might be moving a little bit too fast is that we haven't confirmed our support since the end of last year, which granted was only like 5 days ago, but it would have been nice if we came back to test this Ichimoku cloud right here. However, with momentum, we're doing quite well. We're actually, we're finding momentum with this trend right now. We found it very recently on the 4-hour chart as well. So I have no problems with where momentum is on this chart right now. Obviously, it's continuing to say that Bitcoin is going to trade up, and that's great because, like I said, I'm still holding it. So as a trader, I'm still doing well in this position. But another big thing that I want to point out to you is it's not like this trend is invincible, right? So the last time, this is super important, Bitcoin touched our EMA support ribbon on the 18th of October, and then we touched it again on the 26th of November. So this was roughly 40 days. Let's calculate this. Yeah, this was exactly 40 days that it took us to touch this EMA support on the 1 day, and now again it's been 22 days. So we're falling roughly around that kind of time period where I think we're due for a relatively large correction. And if it starts and looks something like this, where we end up falling into this EMA ribbon again, just looking at this kind of time frame, we're looking at, you know, potentially seeing a drop that could play out over the next 10 to 15 days. I think that would be really reasonable with this trend because look, you know, if we want it to be healthy, it does need to come back down. In any case, I think testing 20k would be amazing. Like I said, I had buy orders at that level. I still have buy orders at that level. Everyone does, to be fair. It's not something that's surprising. And so I would love to see it coming down to test some of these levels. But right now in this parabola, it's almost impossible to say what could happen. But actually, you know, going to the main topic of this live stream, what did I title it? Like, what's next could be even better, something like that. This is super important, and actually, you know, the next thing that could happen in this market is money starts flowing into altcoins, and this is only, and this is a big caveat, this is only going to happen if Bitcoin doesn't crash. If Bitcoin instead trades sideways for, let's say, 30 days, something a little bit like this, that is what would give the altcoin market to blow up, in my opinion, and that's a really big sign, something really big that I don't want to miss out on. I'll get to that in just a second. because there's a few comments I'm seeing as well. One comment mentioning, do I even know who's buying? Because, you know, there's some speculation that actually institutional players are buying right now. We've got, I don't know, like Backed or whatever, people who want to start up index funds around Bitcoin are the ones who are buying Bitcoin. So there's a lot of talk of institutions buying, even friends of mine saying that institutions are buying. So this is where I'm going to lose some friends and piss a lot of people off. But you guys know that I don't really filter myself here. I don't really care about going against the herd because I'm here to trade. Like, I'm not here to make friends and be sociable. No, I'm only trading to get rich, obviously, like everybody else. I'm just being truthful about it. So at least I've got that going for me. But you know, here's the thing: institutions are not buying at these levels, and I've proven it to you. Well, I didn't prove it to you, but I've explained to you why I know this as a fact. Because they were buying at $3,000 when everyone was shitting themselves. And smart money buys at these. The reason smart money is smart is because they made smart decisions to get there. And so like, this is very, very typical of something that's not sustainable. You can't tell me that we're just going to, casually trade sideways here and that's how the trend is going to come. No, that's not going to happen. There's going to be a big crash at some point and it's going to harm a lot of people. And that's how the market is going to correct, because this is way too much euphoria right now. Greed is quite literally at all-time highs in this market. And so obviously, this has to come to an end at some point, and this is just, it's simply not where institutional buyers are in the market right now. This is just not where people who have any real money in the markets are going to be taking up positions in the market right now, because it's crazy. It's just absolutely stupid. And I can't see, big money is inevitably smart because it's big. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's just not, it can't be that big money is buying at these levels. And I've proven to you also why retail traders, normal people sitting in their basements, in their living rooms, are the ones who are driving Bitcoin up right now. Part of it is because of the news headlines. Obviously, we know that the news is highly manipulated and it's saying a lot of good things about Bitcoin right now, even on bloody BBC News and all that. A lot of good news on these markets right now, which is a big source of market manipulation, where obviously they want the masses to believe something. I don't need to tell you about this stuff. All of you already know why the news is so manipulative and disgusting, but that's leading a lot of retail to buy. And then obviously it begs the question, well, how can retail move the market this much? Because it's obviously difficult to move the market by this much. But when we consider that no one wants to sell Bitcoin right now, rightfully so, because it's through the bloody roof, then the only thing you have is buying pressure. And that's going to change when panic sets in the market, because emotional buying begets emotional selling. It can't be any other way around. And so it's very, very important to fully understand what's going on. I know that a lot of you guys are new right now, new viewers to the channel, and that can definitely mean that it's quite intimidating in this space. This is actually something that one of our recent VIP members mentioned, which was absolutely amazing. Take a look at this message I got just today. This person took his first trade yesterday on Ethereum, went long at $735 and taking 15% profit out already. This would have been a really big profit, because I know that Ethereum didn't move much from there. It actually peaked at something like $780, which was absolutely amazing, but this was still quite a large percentage move, and this person already profits out and exercising good risk management, which is absolutely amazing. And as we can see from here, just kind of ending it by saying thank you for your very informative lessons, because VIP is a lot about also taking profits and being smart with your trading. Everyone's making money right now, but I'm more interested in, can you keep your money? And I want to show you how I'm doing that as well. So VIP is the full package where you can see exactly what I'm trading, when I'm trading it, how I'm trading it. I'm telling you all of those details down to my entry levels, my exits, various different things like that. This other message I got very recently from a member who joined at the end of September and already did a 5 times gain on his initial investment, which he's super happy with, just giving me an amazing New Year's message. This is the kind of thing I started my new year with. I mean, I feel so blessed to be able to read these kind of messages. This person doing extremely well, and crucially is a surgeon. Like a lot of people who join VIP are business owners. They're quite busy with their jobs and different things like that, but they're still able to benefit from the group, because the truth is, good trading and healthy trading, it doesn't take a lot of time. This is something that a lot of people struggle to get their heads around, and that's something that I teach you about in VIP quite a lot, also with our courses. And every single VIP member gets my new product completely free of charge, which is a book, an ebook, and an audiobook and an accompanying video course, which I've launched coming completely free of charge to every single VIP member, where I specifically and deliberately lay out why trading isn't time consuming if you do it correctly. And so we do have a lot of examples of, people who have very time-consuming, very stressful jobs still able to do quite well inside of VIP as well. So there's a lot waiting for you, and like I said, with that new product release, you're getting an amazing deal. Every single VIP member currently in VIP and previously in VIP will be getting access to that product we're about to do. I think just tomorrow it should be ready. We've had some issues with uploading the videos from the course. It's all been recorded a week ago, but just some compression issues or whatever. It's being handled by my assistant. If you want in, it's the best time to be in right now. We've just started the new year. We've started off with a bang, obviously making really, really nice gains. And if you want to jump in on that, then you can follow these steps on screen. Just pause this live stream right now, click on the first link in the description down below, then click on the @FORFLIES button, and then click on send message. Crucially, this is really, really important. Bitcoin since September, just want to kind of measure out where it was in September. Obviously, it's done a big gain. I mean, no one's doubting that. It's done absolutely. If you just held Bitcoin, you would have made a really an amazing amount of money. But crucially, if we measure this, where was Bitcoin in September? Bitcoin was roughly over here at $10,000. It's done a 3 times gain, which is huge. It's done a 200% profit, which is 3 times, which is absolutely amazing. But this isn't turning anyone rich. Like you can turn $10,000 into $30,000, and that's still not necessarily life-changing money. I mean, you're not buying a new house, you're not moving out of your area or anything like that. Like, that's not really going to completely change the dynamics of your life. But being able to trade and crucially, like a lot of VIP members, including myself actually, they will trade Bitcoin on the way up and then sit in Bitcoin as well. So this person over here, I'm sure, very, very sure, because I know that most people do this. This guy made a 5 times investment on his original balance, and then on top of that was able to ride this 3 times gain. And so now, if this is what this person did, which once again I'm sure is, this person's sitting at a 15 times gain, because it's 5 times on his Bitcoin holdings, and then Bitcoin has done a 3 times gain as well. Just to give you an example of where the power is, if you actively trade this and you're able to do it safely, like I said, I just tripled my money nearly on my recent Bitcoin trade, and I'm still holding Bitcoin. So the amount of Bitcoin I'm holding has gone up, and Bitcoin's value has gone up. It's like a triple win. It's absolutely amazing, winning on all angles. So if you want to see how I'm able to pull that off, you want to watch me do it in real time, because this is the hottest time of trading I've ever seen in my life. Best track record I've ever had as well. And I'll try and find the spreadsheet for you at some point during this live stream, but it's literally been past, I don't know, like 31, 32 trades, only 4 are red. And maybe 2 stopped out at break even, and the rest were green, and most of them, or I shouldn't say most of them, but a lot of them were big gains. A lot of them were triple-digit profits, so it's quite impressive right now. If you want to see how I'm able to do this, how I'm going to continue to do it, then you can follow these steps on screen. Click on the first link in the description, and then click on the @FORFLIES button, and then click on send message to ask me how to join VIP. But let's get back to this, because I got something very, very exciting to talk about from here, which is the altcoin market. So once again, if Bitcoin does just trade sideways for a little bit, it doesn't need to do it for long, maybe just a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Doesn't need to do it for long. If it does, I think it's going to have an amazing opportunity to let these altcoins breathe, because here's the deal, even Ripple, this is something that my analyst and I both agree on, which is really funny because it's about Ripple. Let me see if I can give you the chart for this, because I don't want to be talking about something that I'm not looking at very well. Yeah, so what we've got from here is Ripple's it's getting absolutely destroyed, right? And if we look at it against Bitcoin, is this Bitcoin or USD? Sorry, one second. I just want to look at what he sent me. Yeah, so he sent me a USD chart. If we look at Ripple against the dollar, we have a situation here where it's absolutely abysmal. Actually, he sent me this a couple of hours ago, so before this big pump happened. But it's actually started to drop down to levels where I would consider buying it, because it's dropped down so low. And this is something that's really important in my opinion. Like, even though I bash on Ripple and I talk a lot of shit about it, crucially, I'm still gonna make money on it where I can, because it's easy to make make money on Ripple a lot of the time. Very, very predictable. It's just going to fall and fall and fall and fall, and occasionally it's going to pump through the roof, and then it's going to fall and fall and fall. And the thing is, I think that with these kind of opportunities that are opening up in the market, Ripple represents it really well. These altcoins have sold off massively, and even though I think Ripple is absolute trash and it should fall down to $0, I do think that, you know, from a genuine trading perspective, being serious, you know, like not me trying to make fun out of the Ripple holders anymore, but just being serious right now, Ripple shouldn't have dropped this much. I think this was quite extreme, dropping by minus 83%, and crucially, it dropped below its previous floor. So before this parabola even started, it dropped below this floor, which is what kind of shocks me, right? Ripple hasn't been able to hold this level, which it did hold originally at first, and it made a very big move, but then it crashed right through that floor, which was a little bit shocking for me. And so I think Ripple represents a lot of the altcoin market right now. Let's look at Cardano. Like, Cardano isn't necessarily a cryptocurrency that's bad. Like, fundamentally, it has reasons to expect it to go up in the future and different things like that, but it's getting absolutely destroyed. Pardon me, Tron as well. Look at this, down to 86 Satoshis, just historic levels that it hasn't seen, I mean, pretty much ever in its history, unless you're going right back to its very, very early days before anyone even knew what Tron was. Yeah, these are quite low levels, which I don't think are justified for these altcoins. And so I mean, Ethereum is even a good example of this right now as well. I mean, Ethereum really being held back. Look at this, down only up by 5%, whereas Bitcoin's up by 7.5%. Whereas usually I would expect Ethereum to be the strong gainer, and I still believe it's going to happen. I feel a very, very strong sense that the Ethereum is going to end up blowing Bitcoin out of the water, just like it did in 2017. And I know that it's still going to happen for logical reasons, because right now everyone's eyes are on Bitcoin, but as soon as they feel like they've made enough money, what's going to happen? Well, look, it's the same thing I keep on saying with the S&P 500. The S&P 500 keeps proving me right every single day, where we have a situation where it keeps reaching all-time highs. And so this is, you know, like white collar, whatever you call it, suit and tie workers in their big, I guess they're not in their high-rise buildings anymore because of COVID, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like the typical kind of investors, the big players in the United States or whatever, gray hair and Maserati sports car that they're too afraid to drive because they've already aged too far when they made their money and all that, and they haven't been able to live life before that. I'm probably offending a lot of people right now, I'm very sorry, but you know, those kind of people, they are the ones making money right now, and we all know how it is. When we make a lot of money, we start getting greedy and we want to look for more ways to make even more money because it's never enough. And so that's why we're now seeing this money starting to flood into other assets. And so I've shown you examples of how this money is starting to flow into Tesla, which right now, if I'm not mistaken, yep, at all-time highs. Boeing making really, really big recoveries after its massive crash, and a lot of that recovery happening quite recently. So we have a lot of examples here across the stock markets where the big index has risen quite a lot up to all-time highs, and on a smaller scale, other stocks are absolutely through the roof. And why is that? It's because big players have made money in the safe market, and so they're ready to take those extra profits and put them into more dangerous markets like Bitcoin. And equally, Bitcoin inside of the cryptocurrency space, which is crazy to me, by the way, but Bitcoin is seen as the safe bet. Bitcoin is seen as the safe equivalent to the S&P 500. And so when people make money in here, they will start to flood their money into the rest of these markets purely because of speculation. You know, like let's say I put in 10K, my target was to hit 25K, but instead I made 35K. And so with that extra 10K that surpassed my original target, I might say, fuck it, okay, I'm just going to put this in other markets. I'm going to put 5K in Ethereum, 2K in Cardano, 2K in Litecoin, and so on. And the thing that's really important about this is very small amounts of money will move these markets by a lot because they're not big markets. If you actually look at this with by market cap, Bitcoin, by the way, just completely dominating the market. I'll get to that in a bit though. But if we look at this by market cap, these other markets are really, really small compared to Bitcoin. Each of these coins with a purple tag and the green tag, they're very, very small compared to Bitcoin. And so they don't need a lot in order to pump up. Like $2,000 for Bitcoin, not even going to make a dent. $2,000 for Cardano is going to send it through the roof. Obviously, these are not real numbers because $2,000 probably won't do anything for each of these markets. But yeah, just to prove a point, big money will be, like small money will be way more effective in smaller markets. And that's where I think we'll start to see that opportunity. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about in the last video was actually dominance for Bitcoin, but I don't know how to show you. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay, that was easy. Okay, there we go. One of the things I wanted to show you was dominance for Bitcoin on this coin market cap chart, which really, for those of you who don't know, if you're new to the game, basically this is showing you how much of the market is dominated by Bitcoin. So how much of crypto, where is it? It doesn't say crypto. How much of the crypto industry is dominated by Bitcoin? Basically, put simply, how big is Bitcoin compared to the rest of the market? And right now, Bitcoin's size occupies 72% of all of the money in all of the cryptocurrency industry. That is a really, really big sign. If Bitcoin is this high, and if we even apply a little bit of technical analysis right now, it's at resistance. This technical analysis is meaningless, so there's no point talking about this for a long time. But again, like, just to prove a point, if we have a situation here where we're just carrying out a little bit of analysis. Look, the point is this dominance is really, really high. Obviously, it was super high way back, going back to like 2014 and so on, because there were basically no altcoins, and Ethereum was only invented basically in like what 2016, 2015. So, and that was like the first altcoin, and so Bitcoin's dominance was just literally at 100% thereabouts. But since then, like 2017, Bitcoin lost a lot of dominance, a lot of money was flooded into the altcoin market. I'm seeing your messages about VIP, by the way. My assistant is online right now. I think he is anyway, I'm not sure. And he will be getting back to you guys. So if you want to join VIP, you can just pause the video and follow these steps on screen to find out how you can get involved. But back to the Bitcoin dominance, we do have a situation here where it's quite high, and again, I mean, all it's showing me really is that there's a lot of potential. This is like showing me to give you what I think is a very valid analogy right now. It's like having a slingshot, you know, like you've got, I don't know if you know what a slingshot is, maybe foreign viewers don't understand that word because it's a weird English word, but basically you've got a rubber band, and you're pulling the rubber band back, and in physics you call this elastic potential energy. I don't even know what you call it. I think it's elastic potential energy, where you've pulled something back and it's ready to blow. You know, like it has everything it needs to blow. All you need to do is release a little bit of pressure, and this thing's just going to absolutely blow up. It's going to shoot forward. And in this case, this is like, it's like cocking a gun and getting ready to shoot it, and it's going to shoot downwards, because it's again, like another very, very valid analogy is you're right at the top of a roller coaster ride, and the only way is down. Like, obviously this can go up to 100%, but almost all of us know that's probably not going to happen. And crucially, at this kind of level, it just means that right now the potential for altcoins to blow up is huge. And then again, we apply a little bit of logic to it. We apply a little bit of history, understanding how psychology works, understanding how greed works. As soon as the main market is done, money is going to flood into other markets. I want to take your attention to what happens right here, guys. This is super big. This is a big deal. Let me actually overlay this with Bitcoin's chart. Let me blow your brains right now. This is gonna shock a lot of you guys who don't really. Oops. I'm sorry. That was a very bad. How do I even show this to you? 1 second. I'm gonna have to figure this out because I've never. Same percentage scale. Is this what I'm trying to show? No way. That's not what I'm trying to show you. There we go. This is it. This is what I wanted to show you. So what we had right here, guys, this is huge. This is really, really important. Let me drop a vertical line to show you when dominance peaked. Dominance peaked right here, which was a week before Bitcoin's price peaked, which was right here. And after that, because a lot of people made a lot of money on Bitcoin, Bitcoin's price, by the way, is this orange line. Because a lot of people made a lot of money in Bitcoin, that money immediately flooded into the altcoin market. And if I show you how Ethereum looked at this time of year, look at this. So this is the drop where Bitcoin lost its dominance in the market. Now let's overlay Ethereum against the dollar, just again to show you how beautifully this works. As soon as Bitcoin's losing its dominance, Ethereum shoots through the bloody roof. There are a lot of examples of this. I can't really remember other ones right now, but I'm guessing Tron must have been one of them. So let's just take a look at Tron against the dollar. Let's see what happened at this point. Yeah, so at this point where Bitcoin lost a lot of dominance, Tron actually couldn't stand. But at the next time where Bitcoin lost dominance again on its next leg up, this is where Tron hit its all-time high, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, again, like a really, really easy way to basically see that when Bitcoin will lose its dominance, the money will flow into the altcoins, and it will flow into different altcoins. But one of the key ones, one of the obvious ones, is almost always Ethereum. And so that's why I'm so interested in Ethereum right now, where there's just so much potential for Bitcoin to lose dominance in the market. And by the way, it doesn't mean Bitcoin has to crash. It could just mean that Bitcoin slowly trades downwards for a couple of weeks and new money enters the market as well. And it's just going into the altcoins. Because guys, the reason people are buying Ripple, for example, is that it's really, really small. And so like in price, it's really small. It's at 700 Satoshis, which is, I don't know what that is in pounds or dollars, but it's probably not even a full dollar, right? Well, no, it's not. It's what, like 25 cents or something, 20 cents. It's really, really cheap. Might actually be less than that, actually. Let me just check this. I'm curious. What is Ripple against the dollar? It's 22 cents. My bad. So it's quite cheap, and that makes people think they can go up by quite a lot. And then we take a look at, Cardano, for example, cheaper than Ripple per coin. So this is a sign that, like a lot of people might want to buy it. Tron is one of the cheapest cryptocurrencies out there, and like cheapest majors. And so, but again, it just comes down to supply. Like obviously there's a lot of supply in these markets, and so even though the price is really, really cheap, the overall market is still worth a lot of money. And that's why it's stupid to expect that Ripple can hit something like $10, because it would make it more valuable than gold or something. I don't even know what the calculations are, but it would be it wouldn't be more valuable than gold, but it would be unsustainable and stupid. And that's where like a lot of new people, they will just see a cheap price and then they will want to buy, and it looks super, super simple. But this is actually why I don't like the investment side of crypto, because it's so damn misleading. And it really is like, you need to understand like this technical, and then that technical, and then that one, and then that one, and there's like 10 hoops you need to jump through in order to acquire basic starting knowledge. Otherwise you're going to get scammed. And it's really, really difficult to get around if you're new with that in mind. And that's also the reason that I like the kind of trading I do so much, where, like I said, I'm just jumping into an opportunity like the one I saw over here above $24,000. I'm jumping into this trade. I'm closing it roughly around over here when I feel like I've had enough, where I feel like the risk is too high at that point. Even though it might keep going up, I don't care. I still made 3 times my money on this trade, and now I've just played Bitcoin up on the investment side as well, just kind of holding Bitcoin. So not only did I triple my Bitcoin holdings that went into this trade, nearly triple my Bitcoin holdings that went into this trade, I also then continued to ride Bitcoin up for another 10-20% rise, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, I can't ask for more. It's worked out really, really well. So once again, if you want to see how I've been able to pull off these moves, then you can follow these steps on screen to join VIP. We've had a lot of uptake recently. You guys might remember I said that we reached 830 members. Before that, just a couple days ago, we were at 800. VIP is now sitting at over 850 members just as I speak. So a lot of opportunity takers really jumping in, grabbing life by the balls this year, which is absolutely amazing. This guy, there's a lot of text here, but the key highlights: this guy started off in VIP with $5,000, 0.334 BTC, and now sitting at $70,000. So he's been in VIP for quite a while. He actually has our now unavailable lifetime offer, 0.334 BTC to 1.45. Amazing. This is huge. He does have our lifetime offer, which we don't even offer anymore, but it's just still running with it absolutely amazingly. This is really, really cool. Absolutely amazing to be seeing. And then once again, another member over here making 46% profit in a single day, turning 0.02 into 0.55 BTC with leverage trading. And then, just tucking it away, just tucking some profits away, putting them offline. Just absolutely amazing, keeping his profits safe. I love it. There's another guy making 140% profit. And then once again, this surgeon, these are the 2 messages I want to outline to you Is it this one? I'm not so sure. Yeah, so this one's showing you that you don't need to start joining VIP with a lot of money. It doesn't take a very large balance to get in VIP and see success. This guy started out with 0.02 BTC, so quite small compared to what a lot of you guys might have. I don't really know, but I know that like a lot of people would have bought their Bitcoin months, if not years ago, and so they're sitting on a lot more than this. And crucially, having a lot of time isn't necessary either. This guy's a surgeon, and it's keeping him very busy most of the time. We've had pilots here. You can imagine how busy pilots are. I mean, a lot of business owners, a lot of very like serial entrepreneurs who run 3-4 businesses at a time, international businesses are spread out across different continents even, and they will also see that time isn't really something that's difficult to navigate in trading. You know, like obviously to learn things you have to put aside some time for a couple of days. There's a lot of content for you to go through inside of VIP, because we're also giving quarterly members free access to our regular course and yearly members free access to our advanced course right now, which I would obviously really want you to go through if you have access to it, because members who have access to one of our courses, they tend to do the best. And so, you know, like if you can set aside a weekend, if you can set aside, call it just like 8 hours across a weekend to watch through key videos in the courses that you don't really know about, then you're good, because you'll also see in those courses why trading doesn't need to be super time consuming and difficult to navigate. And so those are really, really big points that I want to stress with you guys as well. But once again, if we do take this right back to the analysis one, and also, by the way, shout out to everyone watching this live stream right now. 1,400 viewers, 1,500 viewers is the peak I think this channel's ever been at, so thank you very much for that. If we can shoot up those subscriptions, that would be amazing. I think I'm already seeing, yeah, a bunch of you guys. Wow, yeah, we've nearly hit 60,000 subscribers, so that's very, very cool. We're only 60 away now. We were 150 away when we started, so we are actually 170 away. So that's amazing. Thank you guys. So let's get this channel to 60k today. I'll keep on giving you guys this amazing content, as you know. I want to start going through your questions very soon, so please continue to tag me at FORFLIES. And I'm just going to scroll up and go through the messages basically in order as far as I can scroll up, because this is a very active chat today. Actually, I can't scroll up all the way to the top. That's disappointing. But what else did I have anything from my notes that was super important? I think like the big thing really is this potential for the altcoins that I wanted to communicate to you guys, because you know, like, well, Bitcoin has done a 3 times gain since September. These altcoins, they can do that in a week, and that's because like Bitcoin dominance is so high right now. There's so much. There's another one. It's in physics. Physicists will know this, where like if you pick something up and you hold it with your hand, there is kinetic potential energy. That's what hydroelectric dams are using. They're using kinetic potential energy, where something is very, very high up, and so it has the potential to fall quite low. That's exactly where the Bitcoin dominance is. The higher they are, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, essentially. And so like the Bitcoin dominance being at 72% right now means that 72% of all of the money in the crypto market is just in Bitcoin, and that isn't how the previous years have played out for a very, very long time, which is a really, really big deal. And so I do think that if this dominance is to drop, a lot of that money is going to flow first and foremost into coins like Ethereum, which easily would hit my targets. By the way, my main target, those of you who've been around in this channel for anything longer than like a couple of months, you'll remember when I first started saying this, my main target on Ethereum for months now has been $800, and that's only, I said we would only hit that if we, or obviously we would hit that only if we pass $400. But that it would also be very easy once we pass $400. So I was wrong the first time, and I concede I did lose some money on these moves, but I've made a lot of profits on Ethereum since then, and we've basically hit that level by now as well. There's only what, like $15 left until we would have reached that crucial $800 level. More specifically, 793 is where I set my resistance level, and we came within like $7 of that resistance area. So we've done really, really well. I'm super happy with Ethereum right here. Fully hit my first target, and it just goes with, again, this is quite simple analysis. Like, this chart only has 2 lines, and the way I was able, and this is just to communicate for all of you guys who are new to this channel, but even regular viewers, I know you like me repeating this kind of stuff, because I always ask if you like it when I repeat this, and you always say yes. And this is just super simple analysis, just to do it again for you, to prove this point This is huge because a lot of people, they think that it's really complicated to make the kind of money I've made on Ethereum, but VIP members see it happening in real time, or actually it's so simple where, look, every time Ethereum in the past, with very few exceptions, has risen above this green line, it usually reaches the next green line. Equally, every time, with a few exceptions, that Ethereum has dropped below this green line, it's fallen down to the next green line. So every time it drops below this one, right, look at this, drops below this one, falls down to the next one. And so, and especially on the upside, a little bit less on the downside, we have some fake outs here. Look, it doesn't reach this green line over here on this occasion, doesn't reach it on this occasion either. So it does fake out a little. This is about 50%, what do you call it, success rate. But on the upside, it's huge. There is actually not a single circumstance where it's failed on the upside. I mean, granted, there was only two, but it was really, really obvious to see. Like right over here, we break above this green line straight up to the next one. And again, within a very short period of time, again, just to really, really hit this home, this took only 40 days. The next time around, it took only 25 days. Obviously, this took quite a bit longer. This took us 60 days, but we still did exactly the same thing. We rose above this green line. We had one small exception, and we've just blown through the roof all the way up until $800. So this is absolutely amazing. I've been trading Ethereum continuously throughout this trend, purely based off the fact that previously it's been able to trade this gap really, really well. This is what I like to call trading a vacuum, trading a gap where there isn't much trading action happening between $400 and $800. And so usually the price just kind of gets sucked up to the top of the next range. It teleports to the top of the next range, and you don't need to do anything other than hold it and close your eyes, and it's almost a set guarantee that you're going to end up hitting this level. This is the same thing. Just go back and watch my previous videos from like roughly October. Look at any video in October and I was talking about Ethereum. I can nearly guarantee it. I mean, I was so bullish on Ethereum when it was down here. I was opening long positions continuously on Ethereum at these price levels. Even opened a short position where I made 80% profit right here as well. So I was trading it quite actively. I'm making money on the way up, making money on the way down. You guys know it. That's the way I like to do it in FORFLIES. Shout out to everyone in FORFLIES Gold, by the way, with the first link in our description. A lot of free content inside FORFLIES Gold, a lot more than you're getting on this channel as well. Very, very valuable content. So if you like that, then click on the first link in the description down below to gain access to FORFLIES Gold as well. But once again, we bring it back to the Ethereum chart and just showing you the kind of potential here. Look, the next bit of good news is that where the resistance is on Ethereum after this is, like there's a little bit at 840, 850, then we're seeing a little bit close to the $1,000 range. But quite like Bitcoin, there isn't really anywhere where you can expect resistance on Ethereum after these crucial support levels. And so we have a situation where I think Ethereum can just blast right through these levels if it's able to blast through 800, which again I don't see any reason why it can't, because Bitcoin did, and so I think that Ethereum will follow. And I've told you why, because of dominance and psychology and greed and different things like that. It's lining up really, really well. This is where we have multiple factors that are unrelated coming together to tell us the same story, and that's where it's key. Like if these factors are related, I don't really care that much, because I mean, you're just looking at the same piece of data, but we're not looking at the same piece of data. We're looking at greed, we're looking at psychology, but that's the same. But we're also looking at Bitcoin dominance. We're also looking at historic price action. Like a lot of different things are lining up to tell us the same story, which is why I'm so positive about it. And that's why I was so positive about it down here as well. And so we look at this, and I think Ethereum should easily be able to just completely blast through these levels, hopefully with some consolidation, hopefully with some pullbacks, maybe not over here. I don't think Ethereum's going to have pullbacks right here. It could, but it doesn't really matter. Maybe just kind of correct with price. Maybe, with time. Maybe we just trade sideways for a couple of weeks. It doesn't really matter. And then I think Ethereum should be able to reach its all-time high as well. So we're in a really, really strong position in this market right now. I'm really, really happy with it. And this is just Ethereum. So once again, we look at other cryptocurrencies. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because the story is broadly the same, but again, just another example of a kind of vacuum. Look at this. Let me just, this is super simple. Once you see it, you'll never unsee it. It's so easy. We have gaps here. We have gaps where when the price breaches one line, it usually teleports down to the next line. Look at that right there. We fell below this level, teleported right down to the next one. We rose above this green line, teleported to this green line. Really bloody quickly. Really, really quickly. This is actually exactly what this trade was meant to do. Obviously, it didn't go right for me, so I only made 35% profit. Oops. That was terrible. 35% profit. Still amazing. That was sarcasm. If you couldn't tell, I'm British, so it comes quite naturally. But you know, it's quite easy to expect. Like we would drop below one line, then we hit the next line, rise above one line, hit the next line. I mean, look at how consistent it is. We drop below this line, hit the next one, drop below this one, hit the next one. And so if we're able to break this gap, for example, if we're able to break this line, guess where I think we're going? Look at that, super, super simple. And just to put this into perspective, this is a big move. Like this gap that I've just outlined for you is how much? This is a 17.7% gap. My God, 10 times leverage means a 170% profit there. 5 times leverage means an 85% profit, I think. My math is really bad. You guys know this by now, but 5 times leverage on that kind of trade means that you're going to make 85% profit. You will nearly double your money on a very, very easy bet like that. That's already played out. Let's just calculate this out of how many times it would have failed you, how many times it's actually worked out very, very well. I'm very curious just to kind of run the numbers on this. So bear with me while I drop this over here, and I'm going to just so we've got 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times it worked. And how many times did it fake out and go wrong? 1, maybe 2. Although I'm not even going to count that because this was part of the same rally. Just once. Oh, sorry, twice. 2 times it failed. And what was it? 6 times it worked? Something like that. It's very clear. This and that's just with historic price action, but we also consider, like, we throw on another indicator like the VPVR and look at this. It's confirmed with the VPVR, obviously, because it just visualizes what we already know, basically. If you don't know what the VPVR is, by the way, then type this into YouTube. Don't pause this stream. Just type it into YouTube on a new tab and watch this video right after this live stream. This video is part of our FORFLIES Academy as well. By the way, this indicator is only accessible if you have a paid plan on TradingView. And if you want a paid plan, there is a link in the description where you can pay for one using Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. So that's very cool. But right here, we can see, look, basically wherever it spikes means that there is a lot of historic trading for Cardano in this case, and that means I'm expecting a little bit of resistance right here at like the $700 level. We're seeing a bit of a spike right here. We're understandably seeing a bit of support, which means there's a spike here, which means that there is a bit of support. I would expect a bit of resistance here, but once we clear this resistance, look, there's no more resistance until 770 sats, which is in itself a 10% move. A 10% pump, which is absolutely huge, because moving up by 10% on 5 times leverage, for example, is a 50% gain. That is not something you can ignore. That's a really, really big deal. And so being able to pump above this resistance level, we only start to encounter resistance 10% later, but the big resistance comes about 17% later. So you can start to see very, very quickly now how there's a lot. I'm sorry, I think my math was wrong there again. It's not 17%. It is... Oh, no, it is. My bad. Okay, so it's happened a few times on this stream now where I thought my math was wrong, but it was actually correct. But we have a situation here where there's a really, really big gap to play. And so, look, it's all about understanding how these market cycles work, and kind of, if you've lived through them before, you're at a really big advantage. Hopefully you bloody paid attention, because if you paid attention, you'd be swimming in money right now. And if you've lived through these before, then you know how it's going to work out. In greed, psychology, it doesn't really change. It's just a case of understanding the small nuances that are different this time around, so you know where money can be positioned best, and then you have a chance to basically ride these rallies up. Because investors who get in at this point, I mean, let's just say, for example, we find support over here and Cardano pumps up to this resistance level. Probably not going to happen, but let's just say it does. You're already making 50% money without leverage, 50% profit without leverage, but there's a lot of risk. You buy right here, and like I said, I mean, there's no good reason to expect that Cardano is just going to pump up from here. And so there's a lot of risk if you buy right now, but the reason I would want to buy at this kind of range, for example, and this is where I dive into the trading stuff. This is the kind of thing I only talk about inside of VIP, where I show members how I'm trading. I show them which buttons I'm using, which exchanges I'm using, the best practices I have, different things like that. what we have on this chart right now is, because I expect this to be a vacuum, just like I showed you with Ethereum a couple of minutes ago, I would open a long position on Cardano, maybe just a little bit above this resistance level. And don't worry, like I said, I show VIP members exactly how I do this in real time as well. I would open a long position somewhere around this circle. I would close it somewhere around this circle. So my actual trading range is a little bit smaller. My actual trading range is, let's say, 14%. But again, I would apply 5 times leverage to this probably, and this still results in something beautiful like 80% profit, which is huge, which is absolutely great. I can't complain with that. And what is it? No, it's 70% profit. Yeah, no, it's exactly 70% profit on 5 times leverage, which is absolutely great. I'm really, really happy with that. And so I would be able to make quite a substantial profit, much more than someone who invests now and rides up to the same level. I would make much more than that. I would make an extra, what, 30%? On top of that person's, but I don't even know, it doesn't matter. I would make more money than the investor, and this is crucial, I would make it with less risk, because this is what people don't consider during this kind of market where everyone's making money easily. There's still a shitload of risk, and crucially, like, losing money is a two-sided coin. Not only are you going to lose money and then you have to recover it, which is in itself difficult, because and I talk about this all the time in VIP, so I'm sorry if you're hearing me repeat this for the 50th time, but super, super important. If you've lost, let's say you've gone down from 900 Satoshis down to 700 Satoshis, you've lost 21.7% of your money, but to recover it, you need to work way harder, because you need to make 27% profit. Like, again, to show you how brutal this gets, the more money you lose, if you've gone from this high down to our current price, you've lost 43% of your money, but in order to recover that, you need to make 78% of your money. So this gets worse the more money you lose. The more money you lose, the harder you have to work just to break even. It's not a 43% gain, which would put you where? Over here, roughly halfway up to where you started with. Like, it's not a 43% gain that will put you back to break even. It's a 78% gain. And so you need to work really fucking hard to make your money back if you're losing substantial amounts. And that's just the fight. As I said, there's two elements. It's a two-sided coin. Number one, the first big problem with this is that you stand to lose a lot of money, which is in itself a financial problem. But the second one, which is even bigger in my opinion, is that you are a human. And so if you've lost 43% of your money, and now you've done the calculation where you need to make 78% just to break even, now you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel absolutely terrible, and you're going to lose all confidence in your trading. And like, how do I know this? Because I've lived through this so many times. I've made all of these mistakes a million times, and so I know exactly how it goes. You'll lose a shitload of money. Everyone's making money right now, so everyone's super, super excited. But we know throughout history that it never lasts this way forever. There's always some sort of big crash, something really big that pisses a lot of people off. More importantly, scares even more people. It's always, always going to happen. And so we have a situation like this repeating all the time. And I mean, at that point, your psychology is screwed. So when the next really good opportunity comes along, you're not even going to have the balls to trade it. And so you're not going to be able to commit to potentially really, really good ideas. And what's that going to cost you? Because number one, you've just suffered a big financial loss, let's say minus 43%, really hard to recover. Now you feel like shit. So now your days are worse, and your wife is getting angry at you, and you're abusing the dog or whatever. And it's going really, really bad for you. But now you also miss out on opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't have missed out on if you just traded sensibly in the first place. And so this is where I'm showing you that actually using this approach, which again, we tackle this from a time perspective, until we reach this level, there's nothing for me to do. And this could take weeks. And so, like, just again, to put this into perspective, trading is not time consuming when you look at it this way. I just need to wait for a certain condition to be met where my risk is going to be a lot smaller, because we've crossed a crucial resistance area, just like exactly what I was trading with Ethereum. This is exactly what I did with Ethereum, just not as sexy. But we have a situation here where I was saying that if Ethereum was able to rise above this level, I would open a long position. I'm sorry, this is the wrong green line. It should be at No, this is correct, yeah. If Ethereum was able to rise above this level, then I would open a long position just above this green line. I would ride it all the way up, and I would close it roughly around 793, which is just below the key level of $800. And that would mean I have a lot less risk because Ethereum has already crossed the major resistance area, and I would still have a really, really big reward on paper without leverage. That's a 2 times gain. Look at this. Look at this, that's a 100% gain. I'd have a 2 times gain already, but I would apply leverage to it. I would apply 10 times leverage to it, whatever. And now I'm looking at an 11 times gain. Obviously, I didn't do that. I was in and out of positions throughout this trend, and I made a lot of money, but nowhere near 11 times. But the point is, you still stand to make a lot more money. It's completely planned out in advance, so you don't even need to worry about it. And if it's just a case of worrying about, like, oh, I don't know which buttons to press, well, we've got unlimited tutorials on that inside of VIP as well, because I trade on a bunch of different exchanges. I'll tell you what I trade on, but I won't make recommendations on what you should use. And I'll give you tutorials of how I navigate those exchanges as well. I'll give you a lot of options, and then you can even Google what you want to use as well. And then crucially, a lot of people joining VIP, they're new to the game. This person had never traded before in his life, and he's already trading like an absolute G, like a legend, taking profits, securing his gains, learning lessons safely. This person doesn't need to lose the standard 90% of his money that most people will lose when they start trading. Most people, 90% of people will lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days that they start trading. This person doesn't need to do that because he joined VIP. He's got access to all of the amazing content we're putting out and already trading very, very safely on his first trade. This is not rare. This is a very, very common sentiment we get when people join VIP. Just endless. I mean, this guy also was relatively new to the game, been wrecked many times in the past before joining VIP, and then managed to turn 5,000 Australian dollars into $70,000. Once again, this guy over here just absolutely doing amazing, 5 times his money since September, while having a very time-consuming job. And these are not even the testimonials where I'm highlighting to you people who've joined very recently, never traded crypto before, took the leap, and just absolutely killing it afterwards as well. It's all happening inside of the VIP group. So the steps to join, if you're interested, are by clicking on the first link in the description down below. It's going to take you to our free Telegram channel, and then click on the @FORFLIES button to ask me how to join VIP. Click on the send message button, and that will take you to a direct message with me. Once again, by the way, if we can shoot up the likes, shoot up the subscriptions, that would be amazing. As I speak to you right now, I think we're just like 5 subscribers away from 60k, so that's huge. Have we passed 60? No, we're 7 away from 60,000 subscribers. So if 7 of you are not subscribed, then please hit that button, get us to the big milestone today. Hopefully we're going to hit 100 inside of this bull market as well. As this channel keeps growing, the content will just keep getting better. I'm planning on doing more live streams with you guys as well as time goes on. I know you love them. I know I love them. That's a lot of me talking though, so I'm going to pause and go through your messages, your comments, your questions. I asked you to tag me, so let's see what you've got here. There are a lot of comments today. This is amazing. What have we got? Yeah, so just to be clear, I'm going to type this in the comments. I'm only responding to messages, to comments that have tagged me like this. So look in the live chat if you're watching this live. I'm only replying to comments that start with this, because otherwise I can't tell that it's a question. So American citizens asking, FORFLIES, do you even look at Ethereum dominance chart? No, I don't. Bitcoin dominance is it's relevant now, but it's usually not. And so I don't like, you would only look at the dominance chart of the most dominant coin. Other than that, it's not important. And so I'm not interested in Ethereum if I've already seen Bitcoin's chart. FORFLIES, are you going to short Bitcoin or ETH when it dumps? Maybe, Conrad. Good question. Maybe. The thing is, it's really, really risky, so I haven't been doing anything that could potentially put my money at risk during this trend, other than opening small long positions here and there, and that's worked out really well for me. So even though I'm expecting a big crash, I don't know when it's going to happen, I don't know how it's going to happen, but even though I'm expecting it, it doesn't mean I'm going to put money behind that idea, because it's just really easy to lose that money in this market right now. So it's a lot easier to make money on the buy side than it is on the sell side, and so I'm just not interested in taking short positions on this market right now. Let's keep going on with these questions. I'm just going to bang through as many of these as I can right now until my voice starts hurting. Lavander's saying show Verge. I don't want to look at Verge, but I know that it's probably down a lot today. What else have we got? Thoughts on IOTA? I don't have any thoughts on IOTA. What else? I don't like IOTA. I don't care about coins like that. FORFLIES, other than Ethereum, which altcoin do I think will go up the most? I have no idea. I don't really care. I'm not, so again, just to clarify, I'm not an investor. I'm not looking for the next big, like, triple digit, like 3 times gain or anything like that in the altcoin market. Like, no, that's not what I care about. I just care about trading easy patterns like what I showed you with Cardano, very, very predictable ranges like this. This is what I care about trading. I don't really care about anything beyond that. And that's because I want to be in a position and then out of the position very, very quickly. I want it quick, clean, easy profits, and I'm not in there to just kind of ride the, like, just kind of buy something and then cross my fingers and sit with my dick in my hand and just kind of wait for something interesting. That's not my style. I like to, I want to be in charge of what I'm doing. I want to be in control. I want to be able to directly influence my results. And so it doesn't matter what's going to go up the most, because I'm just going to trade gaps and ranges like this. For example, there's a little bit more to, well, there's a lot more to my trading than just this, but this is an example of my favorite type of trade. It happens all the time in this kind of market, and so beyond this, like, I don't care if Cardano is going to go to $1,400. I'm still only going to trade this gap, for example, and that's just because this one's so easy. And then after this, yeah, I'll look at what's next. Obviously, there's a lot of opportunities at any time in the market, but I don't need to worry about what's going to shoot up like Ethereum, because I'm not going to trade such a big range, because it's slow and boring, and I can make a lot more money if I'm a bit more aggressive in the market. So, and then again, like with that aggression, if I'm able to do it safely, I'm not losing anything. So there we go. Let's keep going through these questions. There's a lot of questions, but they don't tag at FORFLIES, so it's difficult to see if it's just people in a conversation or if you're actually trying to talk to me. There is a reason why FORFLIES is in Dubai, to avoid UK and US tax. Actually, it's not for tax, although tax is obviously practically non-existent here. It's for a lot of... I'm not going to go into it in this live stream, but the UK is... Actually, the West has become extremely oppressive lately. And I mean, like, obviously Dubai isn't a democracy. Like, no one's expecting Dubai to give you freedoms that you have in the West as well, but you at least don't pay for it, you know what I mean? Like, you're not paying hand over fist to live in countries like Dubai, cities like Dubai, whereas in London, there's a lot of taxes, and you see where it's going, and it's like, well, why the fuck am I paying so much tax if I'm still living in such an oppressive country? I may as well just move to Dubai, where it's actually, funnily enough, way more free right now, way more freedom in Dubai than there is in London right now. It's pathetic. So it's freedoms, it's politics, it's taxes, obviously a bit of it, but it's a big part of it. But and then it's legislation, man. It's like bureaucracy, the bullshit in the West. It's just it's insane. They do everything they can to make it difficult for you to run businesses and make money and live a good life. Everything they can to make it difficult. It's like they just want you to leave. And so yeah, I'm taking that opportunity, and I left. I made that decision. The UK banned the kind of trading I do in October, and I left straight away. I already made plans. I was on the next flights out, and here I am now. Made the full move. Just bought myself a Ferrari with the tax savings. So yeah, it's going pretty well. You think that Bitcoin? You think that the fall of Bitcoin is done? I answered that like at the beginning of the live stream, so just go back. FORFLIES Cosmos Atom analysis? I have no idea what that is. I'm not going to look at no-name shit coins. I don't care. I really don't. I only care about the... Look, here's the thing. A lot of people ask me, what do I trade? I mainly trade Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the main thing I trade. And that's because it's very safe. Bitcoin is a safe asset to trade compared to the rest of crypto markets, but there's still a lot of reward here. Like, just to prove this point super, super easy, just in the last bloody 17 days, Bitcoin is up by 65%. This is huge. Bitcoin is doing amazing. The reward on Bitcoin is astronomical, but the risk is way lower than the rest of the markets. And so that's why I mainly look at Bitcoin, but then I also occasionally look at altcoins as well. And these are the altcoins I primarily focus on, these ones that are listed right here, and Ethereum. And then occasionally I'll trade things like YFI and different things like that as well. So there is a lot that I will look at, but those are a couple of examples. Plu is another one that I'm looking at. They're actually a crypto company that I'm working with. Take a look at Plu. They're probably they're not moving much in this market. Plu is they are a platform based in Europe, out of London, if I'm not mistaken, offering bank accounts and different things like that inside of the crypto space, where you can link your crypto wallets to the Plu platform, and then you can spend money with their with their debit card and different things like that directly from crypto holdings and different things like that. So they've actually got their Plu token as well, which was very recently listed on, I believe it was KuCoin quite recently. Yeah, something like that. Where they are, I mean, it's just kind of floating around the $5.3 level. Whether Bitcoin's going up or down, Plu doesn't really take a hit, which is quite impressive. And if they are going to continue to get a lot more eyeballs with releases and different things like that, and I've seen their roadmap, it looks really good. This is one of those projects where I'm optimistic about how it's going. They've already proven a certain level of due diligence and how do I say, results, which is really, really good in my eyes. That immediately sets them apart from most other cryptocurrencies. And then seeing how they work and seeing what they've already achieved, how they've already committed to things that they said they would commit to and different things like that, that's definitely gotten me quite excited. So I did decide to work with them, do a little bit of promo as well, and so this is just another project that I have my eyes on. This is not something I would trade. I just hold Plu as a passive investment. I don't hold a lot of it, but I hold some, and I'm happy with it at the moment. So just another one to highlight to you as well. But beyond that, I'm not really interested in these kind of altcoins. Like very rare that I would make an investment. Super rare because they're boring. That's why like Plu is a big exception for me, and for me that's a really big deal. But then also, these coins, I mean, plus, like I said, plus a couple others like YFI or whatever, I'd be trading them on leverage, and I'll show you how I'm doing it and where I'm doing it and all that as well. So you never need to worry. Like, I don't know, like a lot of people will be thinking, yeah, if I want to trade the same thing, then I don't know which buttons to press. I don't even know which exchange to use. I don't know what the buttons mean. I don't know what the words mean. Well, like, you just tell me you don't know what something means, and if it's not already explained, I will do it. We already have material on it, so I'll just point you in the right direction of what to look at, and it will be fully explained in one video. You'll understand the topic fully 10 minutes later. So it is very comprehensive inside of VIP. Literally just ask for anything you're not sure of, and we'll give it to you. What else have we got? So Bartos asking, FORFLIES, how do you stay aware when to start the trade? How do you monitor altcoins? How do I monitor all the coins or shares? Good question. Price alerts is a big one for me. So I would just have a price alert set for Bitcoin, for example. If Bitcoin were to rise above $33,000, I'll get pinged on my phone. Oops, Bitcoin's above $33,000. And then I would open up my phone, I would look at the chart, and if it's interesting, I would open up my laptop and then look at the chart again. But most of the time it's not interesting because A, I'm either already in a position, so I don't need to do anything, I'm still making profit, or B, I'm not in a position and I don't want to be in a position. So again, I don't need to do anything. And that's again where you go back to this surgeon who made 5 times his money since he joined VIP. This guy's super busy and still making huge gains. Happy New Year to you as well, my brother. And so we've got a really good situation here where it actually doesn't take a lot of time to be trading in different things like that. And so you ask me, like, how do I stay aware of these things? Well, all I do is flick on my phone and look at the current price of Bitcoin. And me being a teenager, I'm opening up my phone a million times. I'm nearly not a teenager, to be fair. I'm 19, but I'm opening up my phone a million times a day. And every time I open up my phone, I flick onto the TradingView app and I just look at the price of Bitcoin. I just look at the price of Ethereum, and that's it. Like, I'm not actually analyzing. It takes me like 5 seconds to open the app, refresh the price, and then that's it. If needed, I will sit down for a couple of minutes and write up an update for VIP, send it into FORFLIES Gold, different things like that. But like I don't need to do much. That's a really big part of my style. Like I designed this in a way where I didn't want it to impact my life. I want to be able to do other things. I want to be able to run other projects, because trading on its own, the more time you spend on it, the more you're typically likely to start gambling and running into other types of issues like that. And so I do try to just avoid that altogether. Hope that helps. So alerts and just flicking on the app, you know, a lot of times along the day. Keep an eye out for Cardano. Once smart contracts are available on Cardano platform, things are going to go very interesting. Good point. Yes, there are good releases to be looking forward to. FORFLIES, do I have thoughts on Polkadot? No, I don't. I know it's interesting, but no, I don't. What am I earning, FORFLIES? No idea what you're talking about. What do you mean, what am I earning? Derek asking, FORFLIES, go to the 1 hour 15 minute to see the actual movement. I don't need to. It's not really relevant, to be honest. So let's go on the 1 hour anyway. So I mean, I already did this analysis before. We bounced off the key level. We're starting to hopefully trade in some sort of continuation pattern, maybe just for a day or something. I mean, it's probably not going to be too long. We're already on Sunday as I speak in Dubai. The rest of the world is still in, apart from Asia and Australia, still in Saturday. But I mean, yeah, like the weekend's nearing over, and I think, yeah, I mean, like Monday's going to come around, give it a day, and it's just going to blow up. So I'm not really worried about this as it stands. As I said, I'm going to keep going until my voice hurts, and we're starting to get there. Actually, we've already gotten there, but I will keep going for a little bit. I'm not going to zoom in deeper than the 1 hour time frame though, because there's just no need to, in my opinion. Adam York asking, have I looked at the Hex price chart? Best Bitcoin beat Bitcoin by 100 times in 2020. No, I haven't, because as far as I'm concerned, Hex is a shit coin, although I'm curious. So let's just take a look. Don't really care about Hex, to be honest. Am I even looking at the, you want me to look at Bitcoin Hex, right? Is this the right one? I don't even know. Doesn't matter. I've lost patience with this. Okay, cool, whatever. This is not the same. This is Bitcoin. I don't care. All I know about Hex is it's like Richard Hart was a big believer in Bitcoin, and then he created this one, and he just kind of joined the other group of people who just tried to make a shitload of money by starting up a coin, which is fine. More power to you, but I'm not interested. I can't say her name, I'm sorry. FORFLIES, what do you think about Polkadot and Ethereum? I already said I don't really know much about Polkadot and Ethereum. Will they coexist, or will one replace the other? Yeah, I'm not qualified to answer that. I'm super bullish on Ethereum though, so I don't really care. FORFLIES, what about Link? Good question. Let's take a look at Link. Link continuing to really, I mean, struggle. It's see, the thing about Link is, and it's similar to YFI. I wanted to trade YFI for quite a while as well. It's having really big wicks. If we zoom in onto the 1 hour and just take a look at this, I mean, like, it's ranging a lot. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot, but this is, I'm sorry, is this even the right chart? Was I meant to look at YFI against Bitcoin? No, it was the right chart. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm showing you something incorrect, but the reason I didn't trade YFI is probably this that I was talking about. It ranges a lot, quite inconsistently, and so it's moving in really weird ways, and so is Link, and that makes it really difficult to trade right now. I mean, it's just kind of, it's difficult to prove this right now, but it ranges in very strange ways where it's not easy to make money in both directions, and so I'm just waiting for Link to breach an important level, either the 0.5 Fibonacci level, which is this green line, this green line, or this yellow line, which is the 382 Fibonacci. Ideally this line. If Link rises above this line, I think it's going to fly up to this level, and if it flies up to this level, I think it's going to be really easy to break this level, because we've already tested it once. So as we know, these levels, they do typically get weaker the more we test them, and that to me is an indication that Link should probably fly through resistance over here. This is the same kind of teleportation gap that I was talking about with Cardano, and it was the same thing that I traded on Ethereum, and it's the same thing that I traded with Bitcoin as well, from $12,000 to $17,000. So super predictable. As you can see, very clear pattern now. My analysis, my trading is very laid back, very easy, very simple. All I need to do is apply it with decisive decision-making skills, just like a bunch of our VIP members have had when they decided to take the leap and make 140% profit within a day. Absolutely amazing, turning 0.02 BTC into 0.55 as well. Absolutely amazing gains. These people have been able to make 5 times profits since September. If you want to join VIP, you can follow these steps on screen right now. Just needing to be decisive, and like I said, that is a big part of it. And when you're able to see someone who you're interested in applying the very same kind of skills that you are trying to curate for yourself, and you're seeing it in real time with exact details, that can really be what sets you off and enables you to trade in the way that you want to. But yeah, let's keep going. So Deep Sign asking, FORFLIES, should I sell half of my bitcoins? No way I can tell you that, sorry. I'm not even going to give you like a small answer to that, because I just can't. I'm not licensed to give financial advice. Mega Skaters, FORFLIES, good to hear your true perspective and total respect to you. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, that's important to me. I obviously, it's not easy to speak these kind of things. That's going to piss a lot of people off, but it's important because at the end of the day, it's super important for me. I'm not here to make friends or be sociable or be liked or loved. I'm just here to make profit, and we're all here just to make profit. Like, none of us want to be trading, apart from like crazy people like me. None of us want to be trading for a lifestyle or anything like that. We're just here to make a certain goal a reality, and it's really important for me to not lose sight of that just because I want to feel accepted. And so there's a line by Logic about this, Logic the rapper. I'm not going to quote him though, because it will be quite cringeworthy. But Mike, FORFLIES, what charts are you looking at right now for your next trades? Have I set orders? Have I any orders set waiting for the market to hit them? I do have orders set for 1 and 2 trades on Bitcoin, and VIP members know about them. Although they're not close to being filled, so it's quite far away. Right now, I do have plans on my next positions, which I haven't set orders for. I've told VIPs about them, and I'm not going to reveal them publicly because that's part of the product, but they are to do with hitting support levels on Bitcoin. So I think that really makes it quite obvious. The Vandal wants to see a pic of my car. How can I resist? Of course I'll show you a picture of my car, although I don't know if... Is my phone dead? Oh no, I have 3%. It's gonna be a little bit difficult for me to get a picture of my car up, actually, because unless I just search up my Twitter. Let me show you this. This is really cool. I'm super proud of it. It's been a long journey. Right here. So this is my Twitter. By the way, this is in the bio, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can go ahead and do that. But yeah, right there, that's me. This is the day I bought it. And actually, this was my baby Porsche. Still my favorite car. I have a Ferrari, and the Porsche is still my favorite car. Byte, my favorite car. This is my baby. This is everything in the world to me. But right here, yeah, this was Al Qudra Lake in Dubai. For those of you who don't, for those of you who know. So this was a good day. Really happy with it. And this is just, you know, like I'm a big fan of cars. I'm a big fan of driving, and I wanted to see what the change might be like. So this was pretty nice. It was a nice. I'm not going to say it's an upgrade because, like I said, I still prefer my Porsche, which was what, 3 times less than the Ferrari in cost. But still super happy with it, and I had to do it in the bull market, obviously. So yeah, quite happy with the result. What's next? Yeah, Polkadot already said I don't really know about it. FORFLIES, Sammy, for the holding portfolio, dollar cost average or waiting the 20-week moving average? I don't really look at those moving averages, although I think it's smart. I just don't. As for dollar cost averaging or hodling, I don't really, like I said, I mean, I hold Bitcoin, but I've already got the Bitcoins I want, and I don't plan on buying more. And so the only way I get more Bitcoin is basically through trading it up. And because a lot, by the way, for those of you curious, especially in the past, not so much now, but a little bit now as well, every time money is earned through VIP, it's just sold straight into GBP or USD. And the reason for that is I'm not interested in having any extra exposure. From a company's perspective, from a personal perspective, it's just not worth it to have extra exposure to Bitcoin right now, or ever. I just don't want it. I just don't want that risk. And so I have Bitcoins now, and the only way that holding grows is if I trade it up and acquire more Bitcoins. And for that reason, I can't say dollar cost averaging or anything like that, because it's just not something important to me. By the way, just got a message from someone asking about options for UK traders. So those of you who don't know, the UK government, because they're I have a million things I could say about them, but because they're terrible, they are banning the kind of crypto trading that I do. Crucially, they're not banning consumers from doing it, they're just banning websites from offering it. And so if you're able to find an exception that isn't banning UK traders, which by the way is most of them, because no one takes the UK seriously anymore, surprise, surprise. And so if you're able to find an exception, you're probably fine. I don't think HMRC is going to care. They just want your taxes, and so it's probably not going to be a problem on that side. And that means a lot of people are just kind of choosing to use VPNs and continue connecting to the very same platforms. And I'm not going to say anything about that. In fact, I will strongly advise against breaking the law, because the laws are always set in your best interests. What else? So, oh wow, that's a lot more questions. Okay, where are we? I lost one question, which I was about to answer. Let me see if I can find it, because I don't want to miss anybody. I'm probably gonna finish up all these questions, catch up to everything. There's a lot, to be fair. I don't care. I'm here. I got you guys. You're here. You're supporting me. A lot of you guys still watching. Are we at 60k yet? I'm so excited, honestly. Every 10k. Obviously, it's a big milestone. Are we at 60k? Yes. Oh, no, we're not. What? I'm sorry. I got the numbers horribly wrong. Sorry, we only hit 59k, but that's still the milestone I wanted. So, huge. Yeah. Just wanted to hit the 1k. But that's absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. We're already at 59.1, to be fair. Yeah. This is an example where my math is terrible. Like, I can't even do basic addition. Like, I dropped out of secondary school, which is high school. You know, like, I'm an idiot, like, on paper. But it's okay. You don't need to be a genius to make money in crypto. You just need to be decisive and spot patterns and things like that. All right, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't find the question I missed. Oh no, I found it. Okay, do I share my positions including entry, exit points? Yes, I do. In VIP, I share everything except for position size, obviously. I share it all, and I share it with you, not just the trades I'm entering, but also when I'm considering entering a trade, I'll tell you why, and then sometimes I don't enter it, and I'll tell you why I haven't chosen to enter it. I'll also break down for you all of the future profit taking and different things like that with the position as well. Armando asking, FORFLIES, do you think 33k is the new all-time high before imminent correction? I already answered that near the beginning of the stream, so I don't want to repeat it. Short answer is no, but it would make a lot of sense if it was, and it would actually be really, really healthy if it was. And again, I explained why at the beginning of the stream. FORFLIES, are the platforms you use for US residents? Victoria, a lot of US residents choose to use the same platforms I use with a VPN. However, I can't endorse that once again, because that would be breaking the law, and the US government, just like the UK government, always has your best interests in mind when they set these kind of oppressive legislation that, by the way, they let accredited investors use, but not you as a regular person, because they're corrupt as fuck. But anyway, not the point. So a lot of people choose to use VPNs. If you're not in New York State, then Kraken is available, and that is legal, and you can use up to 5 times leverage on that, which is still really, really good. I believe the same applies for Canada, except for Quebec. So a lot of US traders, they just like to use VPNs. They don't really care. As far as I know, the RS, I'm not a tax advisor, obviously. I'm not any type of advisor. I dropped out of bloody high school. Why are you even listening to me? But a lot of people, they do just, you know, like they do choose to use a VPN. And obviously the IRS isn't super, like they just want your money. They just want your taxes. They don't really, as long as it's not like terrorism or something, they don't really care. And crucially, the government institutions are going after the people who offer these things to you. Like a lot of the time, for example, with drug deals or whatever, they're not going for the consumers, they're going for the dealers and distributors. They're in for the big guys, not the small ones. So that's something to keep in mind as well. By the way, when you join VIP, or if you just ask for it, I'll give you a list of kind of all the exchanges that I use and stuff like that. Max Bear, FORFLIES, watch out, the speed camera stealth tax. yeah, I know a little bit about those speed cameras already. I'm not going to say more than that. Good old new normal. Not sure what you meant there. FORFLIES, would I buy Bitcoin now? Hell no. Hell no, I wouldn't. No chance. Absolutely no way I would buy Bitcoin right now. No way. I would only be interested in buying Bitcoin when the rest of you guys are shit scared of it and completely worried about what might happen, which was down at the $3,000 level. This is where I was interested in buying Bitcoin. This is where the smart people were interested. There is no other time at all, that I think buying Bitcoin is a good idea. I'm really sorry to say it, but like, I'm not going to buy Bitcoin when it's in the middle of a bloody parabola. Absolutely no chance. Should have just known about it before. It's the honest truth. Again, like, it's not easy to say. You expect me to be nice about this, but no, like, the right time to buy Bitcoin was when everyone was scared of it and it didn't look sexy, and now it does, and now everyone wants in, but it's too late. It doesn't matter, you know, like, I mean, it's so risky. So, yeah, like, my position now, if I wasn't holding Bitcoin, would just be to buy Bitcoin no matter what the price and just trade with it, because I would expect that I end up making a lot more through trades. Not through holding. Someone saying London is the new Middle East. I can tell you right now, the Middle East is a lot more free than London, mate. So, yeah, I don't agree with you there. I can't even say your name. FORFLIES, I appreciate the honesty on that answer. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that as well. Appreciate your comments. Could I check out Chainlink? I already did, so just rewind the video. FORFLIES, you think 33k is the new... I think I already answered that. FORFLIES, thoughts on low-cap altcoins? I don't care about low-cap altcoins. I think they're all shit and meaningless. And I think they are... most of them are scams, and I don't think they're worth... Like, I don't think it's even worth the time to decide what is and what isn't a scam. I do this all the time in my life, by the way. If there is a situation where I'm arguing with someone over something, or I'm trying to play defense, like, I don't know, like, an easy example would be someone owes me money from a refund or something, just as an example, and I'd have to write up an email, or like, a good example was there was something really stupid that happened at my gym, and I wanted to, like, write up a complaint about it because it really pissed me off, and I opened up the email, I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I don't even have time to be doing this email. Even if this email takes me 5 minutes to write out, it probably would have been quite short. I was like, yeah, fuck this. Like, 5 minutes of reading a trading book can pay me way more than this. And it's the same way where sifting through all the bullshit to find the one altcoin that's low cap, which is going to blow up because it is legit, is going to take you so much time. And if that same time is just invested in learning how to trade well and trade safely in this kind of market, I think that's going to pay way more. And that's why I don't have thoughts on those kind of markets. Derek, I'm not going to look at the 15-minute chart just because, fuck it, okay, I'll do it anyway. I'm just not interested in such small time frames. I wouldn't really ever look at this other than to, yeah, I mean, it's not telling me anything I don't know already. We just kind of bounced off a key support area. We had a blow off top, but we're already recovering. I don't know, there's nothing to say about the 15-minute time frame. I don't really like to look at these kind of things. FORFLIES, how much leverage do I use? Usually between 5 and 10x. When will the S&P 500 do a pullback? No idea. And will it affect Bitcoin as there are more institutional investors? Yes, I think it will affect Bitcoin, but I have no idea when it might have a pullback though. Probably not for a long time, because I mentioned earlier on in the video, actually I was supposed to cover this, the dollar index. Shout out to anyone who's been watching since the beginning, by the way. This is a very long live stream now, maybe the longest I've ever done. We're going to be pushing 2 hours. This is a bloody podcast now, but you know, the dollar index has been rejected off some very key levels, and this is just from a technical perspective, but we also consider it just kind of from a fundamental perspective, considering what's going on in the real world with the presidential election and economies across the world, and confidence in the US dollar, and stimulus checks being given out, and money being printed like crazy to facilitate those things, and same happening across the UK with furlough payments and different things like that. Just endless money being printed to pay for mistakes and different things like that. It does mean that these currencies are getting weaker, and there is good reason to expect it to get weaker from a fundamental point of view, just from purely informational points of view, but then also from technical points of view as well. And so definitely showing us that there could be more weakness on the US dollar until it reaches this 618 Fibonacci, which is exactly where it bounced off from on this index. So I think that could be a very strong support area for the US dollar, but that's still quite a way away. And something like this can really, like, if it just drops down to this level, this can launch the S&P 500 up by like like another 1,000 points, it could launch Bitcoin up by like another $20,000 or something, like just to put it into perspective. So I'm not really like too concerned about this right now. Ideas on Litecoin. No, don't really have ideas on Litecoin. I'm too tired to talk about that right now because I just realized, just hit me now, we're up for an hour and 41 minutes on this live stream, so I don't really want to look at new coins right now. Already looked at Chainlink though. Got some more people asking about that. FORFLIES, do you factor in the utility and business problems coins will solve? No, not at all. I think they're all BS. I think they're absolutely meaningless. I think they're just... I remember there was like... There were shit coins talking about tracking shipping, like ships shipping products like from China or whatever to the US, and they were trying to use blockchain to track these shits. Like the kind of bullshit people come up with just to justify making a cryptocurrency, and then more importantly, the amount of people that will buy it just because like there's the speculative value. It's so stupid. So most of these things, no, I don't think the blockchain is required, and it's even for genuinely good projects that I like, you know, like projects that I genuinely... Swissborg is one of them. Those of you who know about Swissborg, I love those guys. I've spoken to the team. I think they're absolutely amazing. I think the ideas they have are amazing, but why do they need their token? You know, and this is a project that I like. I like them. I want to put money with them. I'm applying with them right now. I want to promote them on this channel. I think they're great. I will even invest in their token, but truthfully, it's only because I think the value is going to go up. I don't see any real utility in these tokens that couldn't be achieved with any other... I'm sorry, I think I just unplugged my microphone. A lot of these coins that exist, I think they don't need to exist, and for that reason, I don't factor in utility. The only thing I care about is the hype factor. How likely is there to be a lot of hype generated around these coins, and then from there, how much can that drive the market higher? Harris saying Polkadot has moved to the top 10 crypto coins. Any analysis there? No analysis on Polkadot. I've literally never looked at it. I know it exists and I know it's a big deal, but it's just not it's just not the kind of thing that interests me. I'm more interested in trading what I already trade, and it's going really well. So like if I looked at other... It's not me trying to be big-headed, it's just genuinely, if I looked at other things like this, I would start to lose my edge on the market because I would have too much external... What was that? Do you guys hear that? Oh, a Lambo or something. I don't even know. It didn't sound like a Lambo, actually. What was that? Almost sounded like a really loud G-Wagon. Anyway. I don't like to look at other stuff because what I do right now is so good, and I'm kind of tunnel vision focused on this, which is exactly where I think it should be. Once again, by the way, I'm sorry if this is getting annoying, but super excited to hit that 60k level as well. So if we can just shoot up the subscriptions and likes on this channel as we go along, that would be much appreciated. If you're new to this channel, I try to keep this as grounded as possible, try to keep it as realistic and truthful as possible. As you can see, I don't really have a filter on this channel, for better or for worse. A lot of people get offended, a lot of people have their feelings hurt, and they walk away in shame, and a lot of people absolutely love that honesty. So if you're one of them, please stick around and click the beautiful red button so you can catch our future content. This channel's blowing up, the price is blowing up, and hopefully this analysis is very useful to you. It's quite, you know, like I'm quite long-term focused. I analyze the short-term, but I'm long-term focused. I'm in the game for a long time. I want to, like, I still, you know, like I want yacht money, I want crazy money, and I'm using crypto as a wealth creation tool. Like, I'm not here to just get a boring 2 times gain, 5 times gain. That's not going to change anyone's life. I'm here for 20 times, 50 times, 100 times, and that's how, like, that's why I trade leverage the way I do. Eric asking, FORFLIES, can Bitcoin continue to return a compounding average of 250% returns year over year, just like the last 10 years? I think that's highly unlikely, Eric. Bitcoin should be getting harder and harder to push up right now, no, because of hype, but as the price goes up, there's a lot of factors that are going to be holding it back, and I actually covered it in a video relatively recently, like in the past month, so you can go back and see if you can find it. I forgot what it's called, but I think that's kind of crazy. So I don't think that's okay. But again, that's not like anything I specialize in. That's more of a fundamental question. And that's not the kind of thing that I pay much attention to. I mean, obviously I can talk about it, but you're on YouTube right now, and there's like at least five other people who are way more probably at least 10 other people who are way more qualified to talk about this than me. So like my personal opinion is, yeah, like if the world keeps on getting more insecure and people keep losing faith in governments, which apparently is really easy these days to achieve because governments are terrible. But if that keeps on happening, different things like that, and people keep on like feeling like they have a voice and they want to put their money in different places, then absolutely Bitcoin has a very strong use case. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go up in value. That is just hype. And so, you know, like Bitcoin is just as useful at $30,000 as it is at $300, because at the end of the day, it's used as a means to transact and store value. And those are with its genuine use cases. That's what it was set out to be in the white paper from Satoshi Nakamoto, and obviously it's failed that purpose terribly, because now it's only used as a speculative asset where people want to get rich trading it, and that's not what it was made to be. So I think that's really important to keep in mind as well. Gavin Hart, FORFLIES, you reckon Bitcoin will get to $50,000 without a major correction? No, I don't think so. I'm on the sidelines at the moment, as I think a correction is due anytime. I agree. Took the 19.1k. I don't really know what you mean there, but yeah, no, I would be very surprised if we got to 50k without any major sort of correction. But again, we're in a parabola right now. It's a parabolic. It's a very real, for all intents and purposes, very, very real parabolic trend since $20,000. Look at this on the daily chart. This is extreme, and it's not pulling back. So it could, and put it this way, like I can't be surprised if it does. Obviously, I don't think it will, but you know, anything can happen at this kind of market. So I wouldn't want to jump in front of this train. That's why I'm not taking short positions. Mega skaters, and by the way, like if you did take a short position, you would stand to make so much money if you did catch a market crash. But how much money would you lose before you did that? You know, like there are so many opportunities to completely get completely screwed in this market if that goes wrong. And I think that's a big thing to consider as well. Like, you know, how screwed would you be just to make that profit? And can you make other profits much safer by trading along the trend? For example, like I've been doing continuously throughout this market. Mega skaters, FORFLIES, can you get caught out on the limit stop loss and to avoid this? I understand your question. I don't think anyone else does though. But yeah, I mean, the way I avoid those problems is by using stop market orders. It depends. If you have an exchange with good liquidity, then stop limit shouldn't be a problem. Most important question: what Ferrari did I buy? I bought the Portofino. So yeah, I think I closed the tab now. Shout out to JD following me from when I was 17. That's amazing. Yeah, so I've been making crypto videos since I was like 15 actually. Done a lot on this channel actually. If you look at the history of this channel, it started out with stupid stuff, like really, really stupid stuff, and then gaming, and then tech videos, and now this. But yeah, still quite young. Ferrari Portofino. Which, by the way, is terrifying because I didn't actually, like, I had a lot of experience with fast cars. I had a Tesla Model S P100D, like it was the fastest car when I had it. And so I had a lot of experience with fast cars, but I didn't really realize how powerful supercars were until I drove this Ferrari. And what's crazy to me is that it's not even a supercar, it's a Grand Tourer. And it made me realize that when people want to flex and they want to, like, obviously I didn't buy this car to flex and show off. I don't really, like, you know, that stuff is there. Obviously it's going to happen naturally with a Ferrari, but I'm here for the driving experience. And that's why the Porsche is still my favorite car. And anyone who is a big car fan, they might not agree with me, but they'll know what I'm talking about. And so, like, you know, like, it's not really even the flex factor, it's for fun, but a lot of people, they won't be able to appreciate that fun. And so I realized that if you really want to show off with a car, get a fucking Maybach, get a Rolls. You know, like, most people, they cannot handle the kind of power that a Ferrari has, and they're just kind of gonna be driving it like super slowly, like once again, like that pensioner who just, you know, like, he wasted his whole life trying to get rich, and now he has the nice car, but he's too scared to push it now because his brain can't think as fast as real life. And or maybe his brain can, but his body certainly can't, and his limbic system, whatever, his balance and stuff can't. And you know, like, with those things in mind, I think most people should just buy like a Rolls or Maybach if they want to show off. That's I'm very, very passionate about that answer at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going through your questions. Like I said, I'm gonna try and finish them up, but I do have to go relatively soon. Will YFI and ETH outperform Bitcoin? I think that's quite possible. What about XLM? Not going to look at that. FORFLIES, people want to know what your position is as to when Bitcoin will crash. I don't know when. I answered that towards the beginning of this stream. Hopefully now, but I don't know. And it's like, no one can tell you when. It's just impossible. What else have we got? A lot of people asking me for Chainlink. Already looked at that. Dogecoin, not going to look at Dogecoin. FORFLIES, don't you think SEC will go after Ripple and time for Chainlink? Probably, yeah. Don't know. Doesn't matter to me. FORFLIES, do you ever use trailing stops or always targets? I always use targets. Conrad, what is your next move on Ethereum? Good question. I don't think it's been outlined in VIP yet, so let me talk to you about it now. Either to go long off support levels, so let's say Ethereum drops back down to, for example, $600, or it drops down to even potentially like 720, something like that. You know, to go long off some of these support levels, or to go long if Ethereum breaches resistance at 800. But both are quite risky right now, so I'll have to think long and hard if I actually want to do that. What else have we got? FORFLIES, if I have cash on the sidelines, what's better, buy Bitcoin or Ethereum? I'm not going to answer that, sorry. Nathan E, where can I get your courses? You do an advanced and standard one, right? Yeah, so we have an advanced course and a regular course. We have a website. It's linked. It should be linked in the description. Let me check if it is, actually, because it might not be for the live streams, but it's forfliescrypto.com, spelled exactly like it sounds. So FORFLIES, like this YouTube channel, and then crypto.com. I can't actually check. Oh no, I can. Okay, my laptop's just really slow. Yeah, no. So it's yes. The FORFLIES crypto website is in the description, so you can go ahead and check that out. Isn't Link a giant symmetrical triangle? Oh, it might be. Yeah, I can't look at that right now though. Closing down, FORFLIES, what are your thoughts on Pi and B network on the phone? I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea. I think with that, I'm going to start rounding this one up, guys, because my voice is really starting to hurt now. It's been, to be fair, like, we're 2 hours in nearly. FORFLIES, how do you take profit on Bitcoin, and do I invest it right away again? Yeah, I mean, I would just close out a Bitcoin position, and then the funds would be moved back into Bitcoin immediately, like automatically by the exchange. I think with that, I'm going to... P100D is insane, yeah. DZ, watch the Galaxy S8 review. Shout out to you. That video hit nearly 1 million views. That was really cool. Those were good days, man. I mean, like, life was a lot simpler back then. It wasn't better. It's a lot better now, but it was simpler. Yeah, I'm starting to get a notification that YouTube isn't getting a very smooth stream at the moment. Is Dubai cheaper for car insurance than the UK? Put it this way, I couldn't get insured on a supercar in the UK, and over here I can for less than my Tesla Model 3. And, if I'm not mistaken, less than my Porsche. So, yes, it's way cheaper, way cheaper. Insurance in the UK is disgusting. It's beyond a business. Like, it's almost corrupted as well. There's a lot of stuff corrupted in that country. Again, corruption is everywhere, but when you pay so much tax, you would expect those problems to not be there. Just seeing if there's any other questions I can go through. I think I'm pretty much done. Answered most of these, getting a lot of repeated questions now. Tyler is saying don't ignore all small cap coins. VET should be reviewed. I've heard good things about VET, but I am going to continue to ignore them because I'm making really good money leverage trading. And like I said, I can't, this isn't me trying to be a dick and act like I'm in my ivory tower or something. No, like I genuinely need to keep this level of concentration and tunnel vision, tunnel focus on. And if I don't, I stand to be bad at my main thing. And I've made this mistake before of trying to diversify, and it's not worth the risk. What else have we got? What stablecoin would I use to choose to exit at cycle top? I wouldn't use a stablecoin, just personal preference. I would just go straight into USD or GBP. Please, FORFLIES, analyze the total market cap crypto graph. I don't want to, but I know what you want me to look at. Yeah, like the total crypto market cap hasn't reached its previous all-time high, which is crazy. Or maybe it has, but we're just there. It's absolutely crazy, and that really does go to show how important that Bitcoin dominance chart is. The overall crypto market is still, if I'm not mistaken, as big as its peak. Still not as big. So that is interesting. Is it easy to be able to live in Dubai? Andy Hayes, if you have money, everything is easy in Dubai. They everyone here bends over for money. So yeah, like it. And by the way, living standards, if you want to live like a modest, humble life, are super cheap. Like I love, obviously, like I'm from India, like parents India, Pakistani, and so I love that kind of food. You go to places like that in the right part of town, obviously not in the city center, and you're going to eat super cheap, and rent can come quite cheap as well. Like if you were living here on a regular salary, I think you'd be pretty good because you're not paying any tax on that salary as well. So I think that's really, really cool. It's definitely, you know, Dubai is good. It's a nice place. Everyone seems to be here right now. It's safe. Yeah, it's really nice. How many altcoins do I hold? I don't hold anything apart from Ethereum. And Ethereum takes up a very, very small percentage of my portfolio. FORFLIES, as a trader to you, can you honestly say this now looks like a healthy graph? No, obviously not. No way. This is super unhealthy. This is ridiculous. This is not healthy at all. No chance. Everyone wants you to think that this chart and this trend is nice and it's good and stuff like that, but it's disgusting. Like it's absolutely not healthy at all. It's in a terrible position, and it's only being driven off emotions right now, and that is to me the scariest time for any market. So that's why I exited my position, even though I knew Bitcoin would probably continue to rise higher. I just didn't want any more additional risk because I saw how stupid this was getting. So I just moved back into my Bitcoin holdings, still profiting, but obviously not as much as I was before. Yeah, Tesla is the family car faster than a Lambo. It is, but it's also really boring compared to a Lambo. So, and I haven't even driven a Lambo yet. I just know that after driving a Ferrari. Teslas are cool, don't get me wrong. They're really, really nice, but they're not as cool as a supercar. They're only nice in a straight line. Autopilot is amazing, don't get me wrong. As a daily driver, they're amazing. And that acceleration's still great, but we need to drop this hype train of Teslas being more fun than a supercar. It's just not true. Yeah, Steve understands exactly what I'm saying. Precisely, I'm a Porsche fan. I mean, Porsches are great. You only understand it when you've driven a Porsche and other cars, and you'll never go back. It's just the best in my opinion. The dream car for me is a GT2 RS in the UK because I can only drive stick shift on that side. I can drive any other car on the other side, but stick shift manual transmission I can only do in the UK side. Otherwise it's too confusing. Would I care to discuss Litecoin? Not today, Jaggerdane. Super tired now, 2 hours into the live stream, but next time definitely. I'll do more live streams. Definitely will do more live streams. Can I discuss Wi-Fi? Already looked at Wi-Fi briefly. I think for me, I mean, that's all the questions answered. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. Yeah, I'm going to be heading off now. And if you have any additional questions, you can drop them in my Telegram. Once again, I do want to shout out to the members who have joined our Telegram over these past couple of months. Like I said, we've just blown through these numbers. We were at 830, 800 just like, I don't know, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, a couple of days ago, 830, now already at 850. This guy joining us with $5,000, now sitting at 70,000 Australian dollars, which is a huge gain. That's just amazing, more than 10 times his money. since he joined VIP. Another guy making 46% profit, and since joining VIP, started off with quite a small balance. I'm sure that a lot of you, I mean, this is still a large amount right now. This is like, what, $600, but started with relatively small balance that a lot of you guys probably have a larger balance compared to this, but still did extremely well and did much more than a 10 times gain, much more than a 20 times gain, even really just blew up his account inside of VIP, which is super, super impressive. And then this guy over here just with a quick easy 140% profit, just like it's nothing, casually making money. And then this guy, very new to the game, one of many testimonials I've gotten from people who are new to the trading, made their first trade ever inside of VIP and already trading with very, very safe principles, taking profits off the table nicely, closing out parts of their position, doing things to protect themselves from future potential losses, which is really, really important in my opinion. So I love it. I absolutely love seeing this. This gives me a lot of joy seeing new traders joining and then completely avoiding really, really big pitfalls that many people fall into. And then once again, not only are like large balances not required, but a lot of time is also not a key element of this. We've got surgeons in the group, we've got business owners running multiple businesses across different continents, we've got pilots, we've got, name it, like anyone, we've all sorts of people have joined the group, regardless of whether they're employed or they're an employer and different things like that, and just making absolutely amazing successes out of it. So if you want to join VIP, see how these kind of people have been able to 5 times their portfolio since joining and different things like that, then the steps are on screen for you to join VIP. Click on the first link in the description down below and then click on the @FORFLIES and then send message to ask me how to join VIP. Would I buy a Bitcoin after the correction? Yes, I would. I would buy Bitcoin hopefully during the correction. What else have we got? What's my favorite whiskey? I don't really drink, to be honest. I don't like the taste of alcohol. So if I do drink, I usually just take like 15 shots of vodka in a day. And and then I see what the night takes me to. I don't get drunk easily. So 15 shots and I'm still walking straight. I'm still talking normally. If I had to act sober, I would be like, I could do it. So I'm not really an alcohol guy, to be honest. What else? I think there was a comment about a GT3 RS be a dream track car. That is an amazing car, man. 4-wheel drive and the power in that car, and yeah, that's great. But then someone else equally mentioned that you wouldn't buy a Porsche if it's not an auto. Josh Stewart, not a Porsche if it's auto. And I almost agree with you there. My baby Porsche, the one I showed you, is a PDK transmission, which by the way is amazing. It's actually surprisingly better than the Ferrari transmission from what I've experienced. And actually I was expecting that, but I just thought that most other people would be surprised by that. But no, I mean, like that manual gearbox is what I dream of, and I'm really excited to take that from like the UK into Europe and just kind of road trip around with it. All right, I'm gonna be heading off now, and I hope you have enjoyed this live stream. It's been very, very nice. I won't divulge too much into my personal life as a rule. I hope you can respect that. I know a lot of people might be curious, but I don't talk about my personal life too much on this channel. Obviously, I can very, very easily play the angle of look at me, I'm so rich, so join me and you can see how I got rich. I can flex the cars and stuff like that. I can flex the lifestyle, but this channel is all about showing you like, no, there's serious knowledge here, and you can see where that knowledge takes me as well, which is to me what's really, really important. So different angles to play, but this is the one I choose. I really enjoyed this live stream today, so I want to thank you all for tuning in. Still at 800 viewers. Shout out to every single one of you. If any of you haven't subscribed by now, then please do so. Now's the time for you, and I will see you in the next video. It's been a hell of a blast. If you want me to do one tomorrow, message me on Telegram, tell me that you think it might be a good idea. I probably will. I love doing them. And yeah, I think I'll see you in the next one. Alright, take it easy. Bye-bye.